In this video, we'll show you how UForge AppCenter from Fujitsu and its UShareSoft subsidiary lets you migrate live application workloads across multi-cloud environments. UForge is an application delivery and management platform for hybrid IT. It lets you model, deploy and manage applications for any cloud, integrate with DevOps and AIOps to provide continuous software delivery, and audit live workloads, then automatically migrate to cloud.
Today, we'll show you two different approaches you can take to migration with UForge. Firstly, rehosting. That is simply lifting and shifting a workload to a new environment. And replatforming, letting you update and make changes to your workload as you migrate. First, we'll do a simple lift and shift migration of a Windows 2016 server to Amazon Web Services. So our server is currently running in a VMware data center, and as you can see, we've done a quick and easy customization of Windows 16 here, just adding the UShareSoft logo as a tiled wallpaper to demonstrate that we're migrating this specific Windows 2016 server. So click on Migrate Now in the Lift and Shift tab. Give your source server a name, select the operating system type and your target platform from the platforms available. Here we'll just select Amazon and then select your cloud account. And just a quick note here that under the Credentials tab here, you can set up several different cloud accounts which will enable UForge to publish and deploy applications directly to your cloud. Come back and select the region and enter your EBS volume if necessary. Then hit Next. To migrate your workload, UForge will first conduct an in-depth scan of your server. To do this, we install a self-contained binary on your source machine, which is used only during the scan and is removed from the system afterwards. Download and copy the binary to your source machine, then log in and launch the command, entering the URL and the name provided by UForge. Now, as you can see, to save time, I've already downloaded and launched the scan binary to our source machine, then provided the necessary information here. So all we now need to do is hit Scan. Returning to UForge, simply click Next, and you'll see that the scan is starting on the source system.
And our migration is now complete, which means that we have a new AWS image published into our cloud image library, as you can see here. And all we need to do now is to provision that server within AWS, which we can do directly from UForge. So let's give this a name and complete the other information, including a username and a password. And then we just click Deploy. And as you can see, that image is now being provisioned in our AWS environment, and we'll come back in just a minute when that's complete. And this server is now up and running in AWS. And if we click on this information button here, you'll have the server IP address, and we can now connect to it using RDP. So enter your password. And that server is now coming up. You can see the same IP address at the top here that we've just seen in UForge. And we have that same tiled wallpaper that we saw on our original server running in VMware. And this machine has now been successfully migrated over to AWS.
An alternative approach is to replatform your application. That is, to make updates and changes during migration. This can help you improve manageability, governance, performance, and more in the cloud, and take advantage of cloud-specific features. UForge does this by creating a metadata template from your source server scan.
Today, we will migrate a simple Linux-based website from VMware to Microsoft Azure. We'll be using UShareSoft's own live website as our example here.
Enter the name of the server to be scanned and select your operating system type. You can decide whether to include or exclude data and other files or directories. As this is just a simple website with little associated data, we will choose to migrate everything at once. However, for systems with large datasets or mission-critical systems, you can exclude the directories or mount points where the data resides, then migrate your data in a second step. UForge provides a tool to sync the data from one machine to the other. We can choose to download and copy the scan binary or launch it directly from the source machine. We're going to choose the second option. So we're just going to log into our source server. Then copy and paste the commands across. And that will launch our scan. Now, if we return to UForge, we will see the scan in progress. Once the scan is complete, it can be imported into your appliance library as a metadata template, which will then enable you to make changes before you migrate to your new environment. Let's come back when that's done in just a moment. UForge automatically splits your server out into the different layers supported by its templating functionality. For example, separating OS packages from other software components. To find out more about templating in UForge, check out the relevant video on the UShareSoft website. Using the Stack and Updates tabs, you can make changes to your software. For example, applying OS patches, updating middleware or application components, inserting security and encryption, injecting agents for managed servers or integration with configuration management platforms, and much more. For this demonstration, we will simply update the operating system with the latest OS packages. And as you can see, there are 102 new packages that we can update with here. So simply select the relevant date from the timeline, or if we're using today's date, check this box. Click Simulate, and that will show you all the operating system packages which we can use, and then hit Update. And as you can see, our template now includes all the latest operating system packages with no further updates required.
We also need to make a minor update to our install profile, accepting the licenses now so that when the machine boots up, the user doesn't have to do it and the boot sequence will be fully automated. And then save.
Once you've made the necessary changes, you can generate a new machine image for your chosen environment from the supported cloud environments, containers, physical, and virtual formats. For the purposes of this demo, we'll select Microsoft Azure and then hit Generate. And that machine image generation is now waiting in the queue and will start very shortly. Now that our machine image generation is complete, we need to publish it into our Azure Cloud Image Library. So select the relevant account details and complete as necessary, and click Publish. And as you can see, UForge is now queuing that image for publication into Azure, which will begin shortly. Now that our image publication is complete, we're going to provision this server into Azure. And hit Deploy. And as you can see, this is now starting up our instance within Azure. Now this machine is now up and running in Azure. So what we need to do now is just open up the correct port to ensure that we can access our machine. So log into your Azure portal, which I've already done here to save time. Select the Virtual Machines tab and then the correct VM and go to Networking. And what we're going to do here is just add an inbound port rule, opening up port 80 and add that.
Now, if you want to avoid this step and fully automate the process, you can do that using the blueprinting functionality, which is also available in UForge.
Back in UForge, we can click this information button to get the host name of our new server.
And we're just going to copy and paste that into our browser. And we now have a newly migrated website up and running on Microsoft Azure. And this has been fully updated with all the latest patches. So that's it for today's demonstration, showing you how you can either rehost or replatform applications for any cloud using UForge. You can sign up for a free UForge account on the UShareSoft website now at this address to start migrating your own applications to any cloud. Alternatively, do get in touch with us directly to discuss your business goals, and together we'll define how UForge can help you achieve them.